Hi everyone, my name is Vicki. I'm a popular fashion blogger. I built my career thanks to a dude who is a stylist. He was my friend, and when he first started creating stylish clothes, I was his first model, and gradually, our fame grew. Many journalists wrote about us, and then we started to promote our own accounts on social networks and shoot videos. I was taking ads, and makeup artists changed my image. I started to look cool and attractive. Everyone liked it, except my twin sister, Kylie. One day we were in my room, and I was going to go to my friend's house, and Kylie was just sitting there on her computer. "Are you going out again?" "Yeah, to Justin's party." "With that dumbass motherfucker." "Be nice, he's my future boyfriend." "You just broke up with Steve." "So what? What am I supposed to do, grieve for the rest of my life?" "You change boyfriends like a glove. You replace one guy with another, and they're not just guys. People come and go. Why should I waste my time waiting for them?" "That's what you're all about, Victoria." "I don't get it. What's bothering you? My life? Why don't you just go out and make your own friends?" "I have you. I don't need any friends." "Look, we can't talk like this forever. Yeah, we're sisters. So what? We need other people too. I can't use someone like you do and then just throw them away." "I never threw you out, Kylie. You're the one who spends all day on the computer, writing your endless books." "They're not books, they're articles. And I'm not a writer, I'm a journalist." "What's the difference?" "A big one, sister, big. It's two different jobs, but you don't care. All you know how to do is make videos, smear crap on yourself, and then make money from it. That's my job, and I make better money than you." "But my work is intellectual." "But I make friends thanks to my work, and you only lose them." "I'm the one who helped you become popular." "Yeah, you wrote a couple of articles and that's it." "Yeah? And your press conferences, your photo shoots, free publicity in the media? Those things cost a lot of money." "Okay, are you just talking about money here?" "Conscience." "Oh, I'm sorry. What's not there is not there." "Okay, I'm out of here. Thanks for ruining my mood." Kylie gave me the middle finger and I went on to enjoy my life. My relationship with her used to be good, and then I went my own way and she's still stuck in the past. I don't like people like that, and I'm not going to pull them at my expense. Kylie rebuked me for ruining our sisterly friendship, and I rebuked her for choosing pessimism and choosing to stay in the past. I was not comfortable with that, but my life did change. Justin and I got into a relationship. He was a popular guy, rich, handsome, and our union made us doubly popular. 3 months later, Justin and I were planning to meet, and he had a surprise for me. I was sitting in my room, talking to him on video chat. "What surprise?" "You'll find out when you get there." "Just tell me." "Take your car and come to my address. I'll text you the location. Don't forget to bring your swimsuit." Wow, I was so excited. Judging by his message, he'd invited me somewhere out of town. I started packing quickly and still couldn't find my swimsuit. Kylie was lying on the bed, and I walked over to her and asked her if she'd seen it. "No." "Where did I put it?" "Going to the country?" "I think so. Justin's planning something." "Tell our parents I'm at Mary's for a sleepover, will you?" "God, I'm not a part of this." "I don't need your judgment right now. Kylie, I just asked for a favor." "He's using you." "How would you know? You've never even met him." "I've seen pictures and read the comments under those pictures." "Does that really mean a lot?" "Believe me, it does. You're a journalist, not a psychologist. Our professions are similar." "Ugh, Kylie, just tell our parents what I said, that's all." "If I don't forget." "Man, you're difficult. You make everything so fucking hard." "Isn't it hard under Justin?" "Are you kidding me? That's none of your business. He's 3 years older than you." 3 years older than you too." "And you're 17. I'll be 18 next month. But the fact remains." "I don't give a shit about facts, okay? I can't live in the same room with you anymore. When I come back from this weekend, I'll talk to our parents." "And then where are you gonna live? Justin's place?" "His folks obviously aren't expecting a girl from a poor family." "We're not poor, we're average. Plus, I'm earning money. And you spend it all on clothes and makeup." "That doesn't matter." I slammed the door and got into the car. I was so mad. As I drove down the next street, I realized I didn't have my phone with me. I went back and got it from the table. Justin's coordinates got me out of town, only there was some kind of weird house. It looked creepy and there was no hint of a pool or a hot tub. I got out of the car and called Justin, but his phone was unavailable. And then I got a text from an unfamiliar number. "Phone's dead. Come inside. I'll be right there. Justin." Okay, I thought, so I went inside. It wasn't very colorful. It was dusty, dirty, and it looked like a barn. There weren't even any windows. It was all boarded up. I sat down in a chair and decided to call Justin again, but my phone suddenly reset and the network went dead. Then a strong wind came up and the door slammed shut momentarily. I freaked out. I ran over there. I couldn't get it open. I started to panic. "Help me, somebody! Open up!" I yelled, but it was in vain. I decided to just wait until Justin arrived, but he wasn't there for a long time. I couldn't reach anyone, not even Kylie, because of the lack of signal. Then I got hungry and was surprised to find that there was fresh food in the fridge. I ate some and then I lay down on the bed and took out some books to read. Then I fell asleep. When I woke up again, it was almost morning. No one ever came for me. I was surprised, and then I got mad and tried to break the door down, but nothing worked. I did all sorts of things. I tried to knock it down, tried to pull the floor apart with a knife, tried to tear down the boards of the windows. I was shedding tears of fear and despair. And then I realized I'd been in that house for 24 hours. "Justin, you're screwed," I said to myself and started kicking the door further. I knew there had to be some way out. Suddenly, I got a text message on my phone from an unfamiliar number. It was a picture. The photo was of Kylie, only she looked different, wearing makeup, with hair like mine. She was hugging Justin. He was kissing her on the cheek and she was smiling for the camera. And underneath was the caption, "Switch places, sis?" "You son of a bitch!" I yelled and started throwing things around in anger. I even smashed the TV. That bastard had thought of everything. She'd lured me here on purpose to go there instead of me. She must have gotten into my phone when I left it at home and changed my coordinates. But whose house is this? I took a closer look and realized that this house had a lot of Kylie's stuff in it. Apparently, it was her sanctuary where she goes to write or separate herself from the world. That's why there was a lot of food in the fridge and no living conditions at all. I understand that she has it well barricaded, so there was no point in breaking anything. Then I found a vent. It was supposed to lead me outside. I pulled up a chair, but I couldn't reach it. Somehow I fetched the table from the kitchen, put the chair on it, and climbed up. As I climbed, I kicked the chair with my foot and it fell to the floor, but I managed to grab the edge of the lattice. Somehow I managed to take it off and climb inside. I crawled for a few meters, and then I realized that it was narrowing at the end. I had no choice but to crawl back. But things didn't end there. There was no chair now, and I had to jump down. I just hung by my arms for a long time, and then I let go, but I landed badly, falling backward onto the table, and then off the table onto the ground. I must have blacked out. When I came to, I didn't know what time it was or what day it was. My phone was dead. Did she leave me here to die? I asked myself. By that time, I was all bruised and exhausted. My last hope was to just scream and bang on the door. Maybe someone would hear. I knocked until I was exhausted, and then I heard a car drive up and a voice. Yes, it was Justin's voice. He had found me. I yelled back at him, and he unlocked the automatic deadbolt outside and freed me. He immediately took me to the hospital, but everything was fine. It turned out that I'd been gone for 4 days. Kylie blabbed to everyone that I'd run off with another guy, dressed up as myself, and ruined my life to get with Justin and my friends. But Justin recognized her eventually and knew something was wrong. He managed to get her to tell the truth, and here I was. And as for Kylie, she's in therapy right now. My parents were told she needed it. That's not surprising.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kim. I'm a pretty emotional girl. I've always been that way, and I'm likely to stay that way. There are people who blush when they're angry, hiccup when they're scared or something, and I cry every time someone kisses me. It doesn't look very aesthetically pleasing, I don't even know what kind of sins I deserve such a super ability for, but I'm terribly uncomfortable with it. Now I'll tell you how I discovered it and what I sometimes have to worry about, what I go through. In the meantime, leave your opinion in the comments and I'll be happy to read them. I have a father, a sister, and a brother in my family. Our mother has been working in another country for many years. She went there to earn money, but she has not yet come back. We certainly do not despair. We wait and believe, especially the youngest one. He was very much attached to her. I remember how my father wouldn't let my mother leave at first. He kept saying that if anyone was going to work, it would be him. But she wouldn't listen to him. And then my father had some difficulties with the documents, so he had to stay with us anyway. He, like many dads, had no idea how to deal with us. But thanks to the services of nannies and the eldest daughter, that is me, we managed to survive. So that's why I'm telling you about all of this. On the day my mother left, I was about 12 years old. We were very small, and I was already thinking I didn't want her to leave. But I knew that if my parents had made up their minds, I wouldn't be able to talk her out of it. So I slowly forced myself to come to terms with the idea, and finally, when the day of her departure came, my mother kissed me for the last time. It was the coldest kiss from her. I swear, I felt like she wanted to get out of there fast, like she wanted to start a new life, and I felt like this was our last meeting. Naturally, I didn't tell anyone about it, and I still keep it a secret. But something strange happened to me after that moment. I remember when we got home, I suddenly felt very bad, so bad that I almost fainted. My father called an ambulance and turned pale. I was pumped out, told that it was all about nerves and stress, advised to rest more and enjoy life. Yeah, you'll be happy here because the most difficult part is still ahead. From that moment on, our lives were different. We learned what it means to belong to yourself, take care of each other independently, solve problems, meet new nannies, clean, cook, and so on. It was especially hard for me because I'm a girl and because I'm the eldest. From that day on, no one ever kissed me again. I didn't even have the habit of kissing my girlfriends because I didn't want to. At home, kisses were reduced to 0, and so we lived. A few years had passed, we had matured, changed, and hardened. Everything fell into place, exactly as it should have been. I was doing well at school, and then it seemed to get even better. I got a boyfriend. He went to a different school, was older than me, and I really liked him. You won't believe it. Our relationship was right in my head. Everything was fine until he kissed me. At that moment, it was as if I felt a chill again and a wave of tears rose to my throat. Hot tears gushed from my eyes. I was crying like I was at a funeral. Sam was surprised. The first time, he asked me 100 questions about what, how, and why, but I couldn't figure it out myself. Then we started checking, and the theory was confirmed. I have something like an allergy to kissing. I roar like I'm on my last day of life. I first cried after kissing and then laughed at myself. It looked awful, but I couldn't help it. I even went to a psychologist, and she told me that it was all about my distant childhood trauma. Everything is connected with a kiss from my mother. Maybe it won't go away until I forgive her. But the thing is, I couldn't forgive her. In the end, Sam couldn't stand it, and he left. Of course, it was terribly shitty, but what could I do? Because I could not stop him. He is also just a person. Over time, everything became normal, but I also changed. Became such a callous bitch. I think the thing is that I have accumulated a lot of resentment. Over the years, I stopped letting anyone near me at all, and I didn't even have any friends. One time a girl from the parallel began to crowd in on me. Her name was Helen, and she had a boyfriend named Dylan. He was a real hunk. I didn't mean to hurt her, honestly, but my inner angry bitch was driving me at that moment. Helen knew about my tantrum after the kiss and thought it was cute. I remember. She had a party and I had a little too much to drink. I got sick and went to lie down in Helen's room. Then her boyfriend came in. He wanted to take something and I started pestering him. Anyway, I kissed him and started crying. At that moment, Helena came in. She knew what was going on right away because Dylan had a face like that and I was sitting on her bed sobbing. They broke up and it was my fault, and she also stopped communicating with me. I know I don't deserve a friend like that, but it happened the way it happened. Since it's been a couple of years, in the end, I was left almost alone. I had no friends, no soulmate. The guys were scared. I couldn't hold them. A couple of years later, I changed psychologists, and he began to actively help me. He was just writing a scientific dissertation on disorders similar to mine. Dr. Rob treated me with all sorts of methods, and it was free except for consultations. After 5 years, his work bore fruit. And the moment when he decided to test everything in practice, it became the most memorable. He kissed me, and for the first time, I reciprocated calmly, without tears or tantrums. Everything was fine. After that, we started dating. Yes, I am still together with him. I don't know anyone who helped me, supported me, or believed in me the same way Rob did. I couldn't ask for anyone better. As for my family, Rob became almost our family psychologist. He also helped my father not to bury himself in himself. We found a common language, and soon, my father built a decent life for himself. We jokingly called Rob our mom, but if we're serious, we're all very grateful to him. Do you think you guys would be able to date a girl with this feature? How would you behave if your partner reacted to a kiss like that? Please write your opinion in the comments and tell your stories. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share my story with your friends.